Hello guys, welcome back with another video. Whoa. Now today, I'm going to be getting into something that's kind of, you know, deeper and things. It's not going to be emotional. By the way, if y'all are wondering why some of the videos are taken down, you could thank one of my cousins who decided to tell the family about my channel. So I had to, block some things that I didn't want them to see. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get straight into my loss of V-card story. Now, this is something that I'm comfortable with dealing now that I'm 18, now that I'm, basically grown and I'm approaching that adult age and about to continue approaching that us guys like we love to do when we get into it with these girls. And I'm gonna go ahead and show you the first time I relieved myself. Now, before we dive on into this detailed and great story, I feel like y'all are ready to get into this, but you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, and that's a pretty big issue for Galen Bernard Stowers. Yes, you gotta use the legal. I'm gonna need you to hit that subscribe button for him right now. And also, you might want to hit that like button, share some more support. Follow all my socials. That's when I'll let you know more about these videos when they drop. And also, you could click the link and go straight to there. So hey, it'll save a little bit more work to you, and you don't have to go on a dumpster dive to see whatever I post. And lastly, speaking of that, make sure you hit that noti bell so you know whenever I post, so that way you won't miss an upload. You do not want to miss these story times, pranks, and mukbangs. Trust me, banger after banger is coming all 2022. Now, anyway, with all that being said and all that way, I said we go ahead and get into this story. Now, granted, I did have a couple of relationships back then, and also I've had foreplay before, so it was nothing new to me. I was kind of doing foreplay for a lot, and I'll tell y'all more about those stories maybe in a later time. I wanted to give y'all just the one time, the one deal. So anyway, I just suggest we get straight into the how it conspired. So this is the same girl from the my first foreplay story. If you haven't watched that, go ahead and check that out. That video is very detailed, and actually it's not even detailed, it's unedited, so it's raw, so you get the uncut version. Let me know if y'all like those videos or not. It depends, giving. So anyway, let me say, me and that girl, we've been going back and forth, on and off for I think about a couple weeks. Wow, a couple weeks. That's kind of weird. We would have our same little meetup spot, and there would be moments where we would get too into it, and we would get into, ripping off clothing. And I wasn't ready to I was ready to rip off clothing, but she wasn't ready yet. So whenever we got to that point, I'd just be getting ready. She would say, let's just stick to making out and playing with my little thing back there and stuff. And I was like, okay, cool. I was on it. I'm a gentleman, so I know how to respect a woman's decision when they don't want to do it. So anyway, I think the next day, I cleaned up a little bit, but not a lot. I just kind of got the necessary parts that just be stinking, and I got in the car. So when I got in the car, we were doing our same little ritual, making out. Instead, I took the pleasure of eating out her little Kit Kat. Yeah, I really, I dumpster dived in that bitch first. So, I'm working my magic, I'm eating, devouring, making sure, to get every last nookie. And she tells me to stop, and I'm like, why are you doing this? What? I'm enjoying this. Because, mind y'all, I enjoy eating the female lady parts. It's very enjoyable. She said, well, if you do that, I'm going to, reach my ending point. Isn't that the point? You reaching your ending point? Where the pleasure is, And she said, yeah, I know, but I wanted to get to other things. And she decided to pull out a condom in between her fingers. I was so happy, bro. That's how I was feeling, like, just inside my mind. I was just feeling, but I have to be, like, straight up and, like, tell her, like, yeah, for sure. Now that I realized it, I really think she planned it because we were in this, like, I think we were in her, like, mom's old van that was originally her first car until she got, like a smaller car. She had all this room and stuff. And yeah, I think she was prepared because when I told her to get in the back seat and I was hopping right back there, she went and got some things that'll make everything go slick and smooth and stuff. What are you doing with that, first of all? Which means you must have planned this. And then she continues to say, well, I knew you couldn't say no. You are right on that. You are absolutely right. You were absolutely right. I wouldn't have said no. So yeah, I guess that's a good thing. So anyway, she hands me the rubber, the protection. So anyway, I grabbed the rubber and I'm scared because the rubber was kind of bigger than I expected it to be. So I was just kind of like confused, and I was also scared. Like, what if I put it on and it don't fit? Like, it's probably going to just be weak. She gonna probably think I'm weak. But at the same time, I was thinking, you're about to get pussy. Like, why does it matter if you're dink little? I mean, if you're dink little, you could always beat off. Like, it's no big deal. But I put it on. Just, what is it? Like a perfect fit. Like, that's a little snap that it did. So, yeah. And I guess that turned on because she was looking back at me while she was, in doggy style. I decided to put the little slick and smooth liquid on there and, I stick it in. Just straight in right there. Now, I'm expecting to feel like a whole new world. Like, like how, you just feel that first stroke and it's just like everything in the world. It didn't feel all that different to me. Judging from a guy who's been, engaging with himself for damn near all of his teenage life, it's not that, it's not that, like, it's not that, like, like exciting, or it's not that good, especially if you know what it's gonna feel like. If you know what it's gonna feel like, yeah, there's really no point in doing so. It wasn't really a lot to me. Of course, it felt good because even when I do be, engaging with myself, I kind of, it feels like moderately good. So anyway, I decided to get into some motions and, she's just kind of vibing and I'm kind of vibing too. I'm not even gonna lie. We were also listening to this sex playlist that I created because I'm the best at creating playlists and knowing the mood. I get people in that same sort of spot. By the way, if y'all want a sex playlist, I have it actually. If y'all still want it, it depends. I'm in my motions and stuff, and we do this for I think a good 2 minutes. And Loki, I kind of wanted to like change something. Like I wanted to do something crazy, but at the same time not too crazy because I'm 6'5". I can only do so much in this little ass car. I was just kind of sitting there, like, kind of bored. I was just like, yeah, this ain't it at all. Didn't last long. So, I don't know if it was as soon as I started having those thoughts, but I noticed that music kind of really engages people and influences people. Because I was playing, I think, maybe Summer Walker and, like, Ari Lennox, those sensual R&B singers. Out of nowhere, when, like, Megan Thee Stallion started coming up, she started doing a little bit something different. She was kind of like, throwing it back, backing it up on me, doing her thing. And I was just like, oh, well, okay. At this point, this is where, like, all my heavy breaths were letting out. And that's when, her noises were coming out, too. Like, I was letting all types of heavy breaths out. Like, I was going in on that thing. I'm not even gonna lie. So, like, she's just fucking don't, and like me, like I gotta correlate with that. I gotta make sure it's equal pace. So I'm just like going and going and going and going and going, and then like she's like continue to just throw it back on me as if she's not tired. Oh, I'm just like, can I breathe? Like, oh my god, this is a lot. And then I decided to get into missionary. Missionary, not one of my favorite positions. You're just sitting there on the bottom, just looking so pretty, and I'm just. Me and my friend were actually talking about this earlier. We were talking about my back, because I'm not gonna lie, missionary does make my back hurt. Not in the way that but it's just like it's tiring because you're just like up here, and oh yeah, no, it's just not it for me. So, we did missionary for a little bit, and then she proceeded to get on top and, go horseback riding. Horseback riding, one of my favorite parts of the moments. I was, letting her, like, she was just bouncing and bouncing and bouncing and bouncing, and I was just sitting there just taking it. I was like, whew, just thinking about it now just make me want to get back into my freak mode. And at this point, I, skeeted and let all of my things, kind of fill up that little balloon that was on my area. And when that happened, it was still going, and I was just like still feeling it. Like it kind of like felt uncomfortable, but oh, it still felt good. So anyway, after like I was done and she was done, she asked me how was it, and I was kind of like, you know what, you actually did it pretty well, because I wasn't gonna lie and from be all that I had better from all these other hoes, because I mean it was my loss of virginity, so yeah, And then she was saying, were you looking forward to doing this again, like now after we did it? Huh. Okay, foreplay and actual, getting in the goodies back there, those are two different ball games. Foreplay is something you could just get and just go. Like fucking and just go, that's gonna have to take some time. Like we gonna have to spend like a little bit longer time than like what we were doing. So I didn't know about all that, but I was like, okay, cool. Next day, I find out she's leaving for some place, and then she begins to open up to me and says that she only used me because she wanted to lose her V card before she left. Granted, had feelings for the girl. I think I already told you this on my first foreplay story. Yeah. I told you about that. Yeah, I had legitimate feelings for the girl. I thought like we were gonna get into a relationship, do couples things and stuff like whatnot. And then yeah, this happened. But also I didn't want our relationship to be mainly like based on sex, because in that case I could have just called you a sneaky link. But her loss, because you still took my V card and you could have had all this amazingness and stuff like that. I honestly don't understand why females just do this stuff. Like, man, fuck these hoes, for real. Like, no offense, but like for real, like just sometimes y'all females just be getting out of pocket. Like it makes no sense. Anyway, that wraps up today's story time. Hopefully you enjoyed this 18th special. Technically, I've been 18 for more than just a week, but hey, I mean, you get what you can, right? So, that basically that wraps it up for this video. Make sure to go ahead and subscribe, and also like all my other videos, follow my Instagram, so that way you get more notified about these kind of things, and stay tuned for the bangers. I'm gone.